Okay, Mr. Former President Trump.
I'm still the president.
Okay. Well, aliens have invaded. People are scared and they really need a good speech from you. Let's really rally these people up. We got to fight these aliens.
Don't worry. I've got this.
Okay. Do something like really, really good. Like even better than the speech from Independence Day.
Okay, people. The word mankind should have a whole new meaning now. Because we're humankind. You know, I went up to the mother alien ship and I spoke to the head alien and I said, hey, we're going to build a force field around the Earth and you guys are going to pay for it. And you know, the head mother, he was so impressed, he just gave me the plans to the ship. And he says, here, you can have all of our technology. So, in less than 24 hours, I've pretty much saved all of humankind. And we don't need you guys at all anymore. So, we're going to lock up Hillary. And then, I'm going to keep all the plans for the mothership in the bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. And everybody's going to be so jealous. So, today, July 5th, is the day that we celebrate our Independence Day. But it's now a word holiday. Because these aliens are coming up to me with tears in their eyes. And they're saying, thank you, Mr. President.
Wow. I wasn't expecting you to actually quote Independence Day.
What Independence Day? What's that?
It's a movie. It's like a really famous movie, actually.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
You quoted it verbatim.
I swear I haven't seen it. My favorite movie is Bloodsport. I fast forward through all the talking parts.
You haven't seen it?
You haven't seen it.
No way. You're out of order.
Ah, you're killing me, Smalls.
Fasten your seatbelts.
You're tearing me apart.
Houston, we have a problem.
What we've got here is failure.
Conceivable. God damn you all to hell!
Hello and welcome to
You Haven't Seen It?
The podcast where I force my wife to watch movies she never cared to see. I'm your host, Joey.
And I'm the fat lady that will not sing or refuses to sing in this movie. Aaron.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. You're not fat.
Oh, thank you.
You're beautiful.
I've actually lost 30 pounds since March.
Yeah, both of us have been on a diet and we've lost quite a bit of weight.
So, high five.
Air five. You might have heard that tiny little touch of the hands.
So, Joey, how are you doing?
I am good. We've had a long week. Well, last week was a long week. Our air conditioner broke down.
It wasn't even like just a long week. It was a long weekend and then into a long week. And then this past weekend was also a long weekend, it felt like.
Why was that?
I just feel like we were just trying to get back into our routine. And it was just like the aftermath of everything. So the weekend before this one, I don't know, I feel like it's been even 2 weeks. When was her dance recital? Our daughter was in a dance recital, and that thing took up so much of our lives.
Yeah, that was because that was the weekend I was on the first weekend I was on vacation, and then this. No, wait, because I did go to work last week. I was coming home every day and trying to fix the AC.
Yeah. So the week before this week, we had a dance recital. I was teaching a little summer camp, which went actually really well. I had a lot of kids. One kid gave me a Starbucks gift card.
Ooh.
I know, it was very sweet of them. But
am I going to get a little taste of that, or?
No, I already used it.
Oh God.
There's actually like $4 left.
Thanks for nothing. Nothing costs $4 at Starbucks.
Not you. Anyways. But I had
community property, Aaron.
I had like 3 kids, more than that. Like I had a lot of the kids say like, Miss Lamb, we can't wait to do it next year. Like they were just so excited.
Yeah, you're very good at your job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try. But so I was doing that. You had a little bit of vacation time and you were working on your car and you got your car actually running.
Yeah, but we talked about that last podcast.
And it was and then we had our daughter's dance recital. Oh, it killed her. She was so exhausted. And I feel like there was something the day before too that we did that made her also tired.
I don't remember.
But it was just like 3 days, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was like chock full of stuff. We were super duper busy. And then like she went to her drum lessons and she was just so exhausted. And then this past week, our air conditioner went out.
Yeah, I went back to work on Monday, and then when I get home on Tuesday, the house was really hot. I was like, what the hell's going on? Air conditioner doesn't kick on. I'm a mechanic. I don't know how to fix HVACs in houses, but I do in cars. So I'm like, oh, I can fix this. I can do this.
Wow.
So I figure out what's wrong with it. It's the fan motor that in the outside unit that keeps it cool. And I went to get a fan, but our air conditioner is so old that I had to get a universal one, and it didn't work.
Yeah. And we actually had, like, we called, well, originally that same day that our air conditioner went out, I called a plumber to come look at our plumbing in our guest bathroom or our daughter's bathroom. And he came in, I was like, sorry, it's so hot. Like our AC broke. And he was like, oh, I can go look at it. And so we met this like really awesome guy, and he's like now kind of our like plumber / HVAC guy.
He is now our plumber / AC repairman.
So,
because he really helped us out.
Yeah,
but
he came back like 3 times to come and help us, and like we didn't pay him for those. Like,
oh no, I paid him.
Well, I know. I mean, like at the end we paid him.
Well, you don't pay the person until the thing's fixed.
I know, but I'm just saying like. He came out several times to like he didn't come out and was like, oh, I need like a diagnostic fee or anything like that.
No.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like he didn't charge us to figure out what was wrong either.
Well, because I was the one who figured out what was wrong with it.
But he also didn't charge us for our plumbing either. So
well, because I guess he didn't charge a fee, but we're gonna hire him to do the plumbing anyway. But I went to get the motor for this fan, and it had like 7 wires coming out of it when the one that I took off only had 3. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do. So I go online and I check out some YouTube videos, and they're like, this is how you wire it up. And I did, and it overheated, and I couldn't get it to work. So I'm like, oh, just call that guy. And he came out and helped me, and he had to get some little capacitor part for it, but it only ended up costing like $100. Plus what I paid for the fan. So our house is cool now. Thank God.
yeah, we have a really cool house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if you are not a homeowner, make sure that you're prepared when you buy a house.
Yeah.
You got to have a big emergency fund, excuse me, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. But our daughter was so exhausted from like we weren't able to sleep very well. Like we were all sleeping in our middle bedroom. So she was sleeping on the floor. We were sleeping in a bed, but it was super hot.
Bed.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable bed. Sorry to anyone that sleeps at our house and sleeps in that room. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
hey, don't stay with us. We don't want you here anyway.
Okay. Anywho, what was this? Oh, our daughter, she was like super duper tired, and like she had a meltdown in several places. She had one at our dance studio, and she also had one at her drum lesson. She was just like exhausted. She was just exhausted this week.
I mean, she didn't have a meltdown.
The dance studio, she kind of did.
Okay. Well, anyway, today we're going to be talking about Independence Day, the 1996 movie by Roland Emmerich. It stars a slew of people, including Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Mary McDonald, Judd Hirsch, Randy Quaid, Vivica A. Fox, Robert Loggia. Do you know any of those people, Aaron? by name
I
only?
heard a Fox. Who?
Vivica A. Fox.
No, don't know them.
All right.
Guy that the president guy, he looks familiar.
Yeah, he's from that show we watched, The Sinner.
Ah.
Yeah, he's a little bit older now, but
I've seen him in other stuff too.
yeah, I think you said he was in a Casper movie or something.
No, that was in We Can't Stop the Music.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, that Casper comment really threw me off. Who the hell in Can't Stop the Music was in a Casper movie?
The curly head guy.
Oh, from Police Academy.
Huh?
I'm blanking on his name now. But anyway, Independence Day came out in 1996. It was a huge, huge hit.
I was only 3 years old.
Yeah. Watching this, I forgot. Like, it was supposed to be big on special effects, but it wasn't like a big CG movie. I was expecting to see a lot more CG than I did. That was kind of interesting. There was a lot of models, a lot of miniature models. I don't know if you noticed. But anyway, I want to ask you, what did you know about Independence Day before we watched it?
Well, before we watched it, we were sitting all together, and you were like, we were talking to our daughter, and you were like, "Oh, like you should watch the movie. It's about aliens." And I was like, "No," because I had no clue what this movie was about. I had no idea. And then you told me it was aliens, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's about aliens."
That doesn't spoil anything.
I know it doesn't spoil anything, but I didn't know anything before that. But then when you said that, I was like, "Okay, I know it's about aliens."
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. This was a huge movie when I was in middle school. It came out when I was in 6th grade. I'm pretty sure I went to theater to see it. It was never one of my favorite movies, but I remember, when a middle school teacher I had didn't want to do work, we'd end up watching this movie for some reason. Will Smith, I remember my friend and I, stupid little kids, being like, Will Smith is trying to make the jump from TV to movies. He's not going to be able to do it. and then he became like, right after that, a mega huge star who had like a #1 movie every summer.
Was Men in Black right after this?
Yeah, Men in Black was right after this, I think.
Yeah.
Which was a even bigger movie for him, I think, because he was the lead in it. Like, he's more of a supporting character. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Who the hell is the lead in this movie? Is it Jeff Goldblum? Is
that the president?
No, that's the guy from The Fly.
Oh, yeah. I would say he is. Him. Yeah.
It's kind of unclear. I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid, and I didn't know about movie making back then. So, like, I noticed a lot of weird stuff that I was like, this is not good.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I was like, that was cringy a lot. So,
yeah.
We'll talk about like what I think of the movie later.
You don't have any general impressions you want to talk about? You don't have to give your opinion on it, just some things that you noticed like that jumped out at you. Yeah,
but there's a lot of cringy lines. One of the thing that was constantly said was, until the fat lady sings. Yeah. It's not over till the fat lady sings. They said it like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, okay, you got to do something with that if you're going to keep saying it. Like, say it one time. Or like I think they were trying to make it like their catchphrase, but I was like, make up an actual catchphrase for them. Like the one that was like kick the tires and light the fires.
Yeah. This movie is trying to be quippy and cool.
That's the whole movie was trying to it was like, oh, we need this one-liner. We need one-liners.
Yeah,
it was all full of one-liners.
Yeah, one of my favorite bad ones from this movie is when he's like, is there a problem, Will Smith's character? And he goes, no, sir, I'm a little eager to get up there and kick E.T.'s ass.
Yeah, I was, just, with the cringy lines.
Yeah, it was super cringe. Also, like, character arcs were really funny in this. Like, I noticed Jeff Goldblum's character arc seemed to be that he isn't going to get sick on a flight. Because he gets sick and throws up on Air Force One. Mm-hmm. But then he's trying really hard at the end not to get sick on that final
Yeah.
Spaceship at the
Which we'll talk about. I mean, yeah, like going into space.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want to be a pilot. Will Smith is like, I want to be a pilot. I want to be a pilot. Or
Yeah.
I want to go into space and everything. Like that's his dream. He's been a pilot. And then he all of a sudden is able to fly into space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's that's good movie making because you want to set up that he is aspiring to be
Well, yeah.
a space captain or whatever, and he gets declined by NASA. So
Yes. But what I'm saying is like, it was so funny because like you need a lot of training to be an astronaut. And it was just like, well, I'll be able to fly this plane into the space.
yeah, there was a lot of stuff like that, like how Jeff Goldblum is just all of a sudden is like, oh, I got their signal. It's like, how did you get that?
Yeah.
This is what they're saying. They're going to destroy Earth or whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of like little plot holes. Or no, I don't know if it's like plot holes, but just like weirdness.
Yeah, it's like it's just so simple, and I feel like a lot of movies like this at the time, like remember Armageddon?
No.
Okay, where it's like a Bruce Willis movie where they go into space and they drill into an asteroid so they can blow it up before it hits Earth, but there is so many like physics discrepancies in it, and like this movie is in the same vein. It's just like all the science gets waxed over and moved across so quick.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like not like it's science fiction, but it's not science fiction.
No, it's super, super soft.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So that's it for general impressions, or you got some other things that you're just dying to get off your chest?
Oh, well, I wanted to say like whenever the beginning, like they're like, aliens don't exist. Like this isn't real. And then like, this one guy's like, well, actually it is. There is an Area 51. The whole thing, like that whole thing, I was like, JFK knew that there were aliens.
JFK knew.
You don't know that conspiracy? Or
No,
well,
I don't know that.
he was like going to reveal. That's why they killed him.
Oh my God. Another conspiracy surrounding the JFK
JFK.
assassination?
KFC.
No fucking way. I never would have guessed.
Yeah, but they say that he knew about aliens. And so like that's part of the reason that they killed him.
What do you think about the whole aliens Area 51 thing?
I don't really know, but have you seen what NASA's like recently come out with?
No.
They have recently said that there are unidentified objects, and the military has.
Well, I know about the UFO things, but that's not an alien. It's an unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
I'm saying aliens. What do you think about actual intelligent life form coming to our planet?
I don't think they'll come here. I don't think they would want to come
they
here.
don't want to.
Yeah. But I do believe, I mean, the universe is so vast, you know? So, like,
if you guys can't see it right now, but Aaron's holding a joint.
yeah. He goes, like, the universe is, like, so vast and, like, encompasses us all. And if you think about it, like, there's gotta be aliens somewhere, dude.
Yeah. Totes my goats.
Yeah. So I feel like there's, like, something out there somewhere, but it's so far away, or like there's no way for us to reach each other.
Yeah, I don't think aliens have ever been to Earth. I don't believe in the ancient alien stuff. If there is intelligent life form out there, it's probably so far away, like we can't reach them. So I can't imagine them being able to reach us.
And what is considered an alien? Is it something from another planet? Because there are other organisms.
I mean, intelligent life.
Intelligent life. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I mean, they could be evolving, and then, billions and trillions of years after, Earth is done with, then there could be intelligent life form on, I don't know, one of the other planets in the solar system. But it's just too improbable, I think.
Yeah.
And plus, I just don't really care that much. I've got too many other things to worry about. All right, so a little bit about the director of this movie. This was a huge hit for him, but it wasn't at all his first movie. But this movie, I think, is what kind of got him into disaster movies. So after Independence Day, he did that god-awful Godzilla reboot. Then he did The Day After Tomorrow, which is another disaster movie. 10,000 BC. I don't know. I kind of feel like that is. 2012, I believe, is a disaster film. And then he did Independence Day Resurgence, the sequel that I never saw. And
White House Down.
White House Down.
Moonfall, what's that?
I don't know what Moonfall is. Moonfall. It's a falling out of the sky fall.
In 2011.
Yeah. So this is kind of became his bread and butter because this movie was such a big hit. Other than that, there really aren't that many good behind the scenes things that I saw. It had the most miniatures of any movie ever made, I think, which you can see it. There's so many models in this.
Miniatures.
It's crazy. All the spaceships, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said a minute ago, I thought there was a lot more CG in this movie, but there wasn't. And I thought it looked good. It looked a lot better than I remember it.
I thought the way the ships came in was really cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was just film compositing.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. So you know how the ships kind of came through a cloud?
Hold on. Put your glasses on and you gotta say it real nasally.
I gotta say it nasally like I'm a film nerd. Okay, so right, there's these when the spaceships came in, there was a lot of clouds, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. But so they filmed the miniature spaceship, like a little model of it, going through clouds. Like they probably set up some smoke machines with a camera that has a lens on it that can make small things
look big,
right? And then they also took real live footage of like New York City, right?
And put it over top.
Yeah, they cut out each image painstakingly. This takes a long time to do. And
overlapped them?
Yeah, overlapped them like in Photoshop, but at 24 frames a second. And it looked really good, in my opinion.
I thought it looked really awesome.
I miss the shit out of these things in movies. Everything is CGI now.
Yeah.
And it's like, you watch these old movies and you go like, oh, I wonder how they did that. And you try to look it up and see if you can figure it out. In new movies, you see a special effect and you go, oh, they just use CG. Those are CG monkeys that are attacking Shia LaBeouf. Great.
Shia LaBeouf. What is that from? CG monkeys.
Yeah, from Indiana Jones, the
I don't know that.
Crystal Skull movie. He was swinging on vines with like CG monkeys, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I saw it when it came out. I never saw it again. So, all right. So you want to get into the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So it opens up, and I can't remember.
It's July 2nd.
Yeah, it's July 2nd, and there's a shot of the American flag that's on the moon right now.
Mm-hmm. And then you see the ship kind of like come behind the moon.
Yes, and it feels very
ominous.
I was going to say New Hope-y, like Star Wars A New Hope, when those ships go over at the very first shot.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, that's what it reminded me of that. And then there's like one of those fields with satellites in it. I think it's a real place, but I don't know the name of it.
So we watched the first part like before our AC went out. And I had written some notes down, and then we sat down and watched it a couple days, like literally like that weekend, the rest of it, and I could not remember the beginning at all.
Well, I just rewatched it earlier today because I fell asleep.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, I fell asleep. So
that's why we stopped watching it.
It was one of those fields where they have a bunch of satellites. It's probably a real place, but I don't know the name of it. And they go into it, and there's just a guy hanging out in there, like putting. Remember?
Yes.
And you remember what song was playing?
No.
REM. It's the end of the world as we know
it's the
it.
end of the world as we know it.
Yeah. So this guy, he makes some phone calls and whatnot. And we find out about the president. Like,
yeah. I said, man is playing putt-putt when a light starts flashing.
yeah, I think we should just go through our notes. Like, the thing about this movie, if we go scene by scene, there is like 200
things that happen in one like little frame.
Yeah, because the scenes, there's so many characters. It's just bouncing around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interior, exterior, Jeff Goldblum's house, his dad's house,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
But you can tell that there's some type of signal coming through.
Right.
And like there's not usually signal on this thing because it starts flashing and like beeping and stuff. And so you're like, oh shit, something's going down.
Yeah.
Then someone says something and I was like, the aliens are from the moon? Because that's what I got that was my impression because it came from behind the moon. And I was like, oh, yep, the aliens are from the moon.
I really wish it was the Moonanites from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
No.
They look like little Atari characters.
I can't remember.
No.
I'm so bad at remembering all those little things.
Yeah, so they call the president and the military and all that junk and tell everybody what's going on. And
Yeah, well, because then, who even tells the president? Because
he just gets a phone call, I think.
okay, well, because he's calling his wife, and his wife is in L.A.
Yeah,
and he's in
for no
Washington.
reason. Did they say
she
Washington?
was like doing some like charity thing or something?
Yeah, probably.
And I guess like he was like on the phone with his wife, and then he ends the call, and then someone comes in and is like, Mr. President Whitmore, you have a call. And then he goes and he deals with the aliens, and he's like, oh, wait, what's happening? I guess it goes so fast in the beginning.
Yeah, this movie everything in this movie goes fast.
True. Yeah.
They just have so much to get through, and it just goes by really quick. But then we meet Jeff Goldblum and his dad, and they're playing chess in a park. And we find out Jeff Goldblum's all about saving the planet, even though they don't really hit it that hard.
Yeah.
Like, these characters are such, like...
They're shallow.
They're super shallow, like...
Like, there's not a lot of depth to them.
No, they don't develop these characters enough. It's like, you see him riding a bike and throwing cans in a recycling bin. And we're supposed to know that he
loves the environment.
Loves the environment. And he's such a good guy. Mm-hmm. And then his friend where does he work? It's some sort of communications
it's like a TV station. That's what it seemed like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he must work at like...
Because his dad kept saying like, well, what is the president going to do with a TV station? If they needed you, they would have called you.
Yeah, his dad calls him a cable installer.
Yeah.
Something like that. But he's got that raspy voice friend from Miss Doubtfire. Mm-hmm. And that guy, like, he gets killed later, right? He's not at the end of the movie.
No, I mean, we don't really know if... Well, he does get killed, I'm guessing. I think it's implied. Because when one of the ships, like shoots down that beam...
Yeah.
Like, he like, turns around, he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And that's it. Which most people died in that incident if they saw the beam.
Yeah. And then Vivica A. Fox's stripper friend also dies. Remember, she was hoping
Yeah.
like Elvis comes back or something.
She was on top of the building where they were at.
Yeah.
But the something I wanted to say was the movie, like it started like the president hears about the aliens, and then all of a sudden, oh, they're here immediately.
They said like they'll be in orbit in like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's the first time the president is hearing about it.
Yeah. And so like in 25 minutes they get there, and then like everyone starts seeing it. People are like trying to leave their house, and that's where we first see Will Smith getting up after he's been with his girlfriend.
Ooh, his girlfriend, Vivica A. Fox, and her son who played Buckwheat in The Little Rascals.
I know. I saw him and I was like, That was the boy in Little Rascals.
Yeah, his hair is different, so he was hard to recognize, but it was definitely him.
Not for me. I saw him. I was like, he looks so familiar. I know he is.
Well, yeah, you've seen that movie a billion times.
For real.
I haven't seen that movie since I was like...
I got a pickle. I got a pickle. I got a pickle. Hey, 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 hey.
That movie must have come out around the same time because he doesn't look that much older.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit older in this.
Mm-hmm. I think it did come out like I was pretty young when Little Rascals came out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was like
a baby.
Not a baby, but like 3 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
But I watched it a lot. We had it on VHS.
Yeah, I was already aging out of movies like that, but I remember watching it and liking it. And thinking
It's
it was
so
cute.
cute.
It is really cute. The kids, I don't know. It must have been a nightmare working with all those kids as a director.
Oh, I bet. But I also heard that they were really fantastic.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you going to say? What are you
These
gonna say
are the
about-
shittiest fucking kids I've ever seen.
I'm telling you, don't ever work with kids. These fucking kids. I'd sit them on cigarette breaks and they'd be out there for hours smoking and joking and...
Yeah, we see Will Smith, and then we get the ships coming in. Looks cool.
Yeah, and they think it's just an earthquake. Like, Will Smith is not concerned about it at all.
Yeah, it seems very whenever they first did this, I was like, how big are these ships? Because I don't think they said that they were in multiple locations. What I heard was like, what I was assuming is that there was going to be one in the United States, one in this other like country. So like they were going to go to different countries.
This movie would have you believe, if you were not from Earth, that the United States takes up 90% of the globe. Because they flash to Africa and London and like Russia and then Iraq, I think.
Well, I was going to say
It's just like a split second.
But I was about to say, like, I thought the ships were huge. Like, they're huge.
Right.
They're huge, man.
Man, that is a huge ship.
But I thought they stretched all the way from Washington or New York to LA. That they were that big. Because, like, it was like
one
showing.
ship could cover all of the United States.
I'm super confused. Because I was like, wait, they can see it in LA? Because I thought they were like seeing it in Washington.
Right.
They were seeing it in New York. And I was like, okay, those are somewhat close. But I was like, it's all the way out in LA? And then I realized later, oh, it's another ship.
Yeah, they didn't really have establishing shots of the ship. And I think that's because there was no CG at that time. Mm-hmm. They would have had to use models. And they would have had to have like a shot from really far away to show like all of LA, downtown LA, with a big spaceship hovering over it. So they didn't have very good establishing shots. So yeah. Now that you're mentioning it, I'm realizing that is kind of confusing.
Yeah, because I was like, that's not like because you said like, oh, you would think that the United States took up 90% of the world. I was like, no, it takes up like 2% because the ship took up the whole entire United States. But no, like I get now that there were multiple ships.
Yeah, but this movie is very like America,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, Team America, Djangoistic, like America is the center of the universe, and like all these other countries, like 3 other countries exist besides the United States. In that speech that Bill Pullman gives, to where he's like, now our Independence Day is actually mankind's Independence Day.
Yeah, I
It's
actually wrote a
so-
note about that. I was like, I wonder if the person who wrote the speech about the 4th of July was like really patriotic person and was like, and because he was for sure American. Because like, I don't think other countries like really know about Independence Day.
Well, yeah, I don't think they would know when our Independence Day is.
Yeah. Like
Maybe like Canada, yeah.
Canada might, and like maybe Mexico.
Yeah, but do you know when Mexico's Independence Day is?
Cinco de Mayo.
Don't say. Oh, God.
What?
Their Mexican Independence Day is not Cinco de Mayo.
Oh. What is that?
Cinco de Mayo it's just one of those, it's like St. Patrick's Day where we kind of celebrate in, what do you call that? Solidarity with them. But Cinco de Mayo was just a battle that they had with the French.
Oh.
To where like Mexican civilians stepped up and like defeated the French.
When is Mexico's Independence Day?
I don't know.
Does every country have an Independence Day?
No.
Okay.
No, because you have to fight for your independence.
Hey, we're stupid Americans, okay? Don't patronize our school systems. They're not good. Heads up.
But a lot of, I guess a lot of nations do, because colonization was so huge at one point. No?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be so many.
Yeah, well, if you think about like Canada, our brothers to the north, they probably don't like me saying that. Like, we don't want to be associated with you. But they were a British colony, and they never split from that colony.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to become a Canadian citizen, it's really easy. But you have to swear an oath to the Queen, or now the King.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the ships are hovering over. We've met Jeff Goldblum, and then we find out that his wife is like some sort of assistant to the president, but we don't.
Yes,
they say
and
what
they were separated, but I think she was like his like. What is the person that goes out and does their speeches? There was a redhead lady that was speaking for Biden.
Oh, shit! Secretary of Press or something like
Maybe.
that? I know what you're talking about, though. Like Kellyanne Conway, or I forget the one who was for Biden for a while. I don't think she is anymore.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention. She had red hair. She had a. I want to say her last name was like. How? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Anywho.
Anyway, she works with the president, like right side by side with them, and then Jeff Goldblum calls her and says, like, "Hey, something bad's gonna happen. I intercepted their signal." And she's like, "Whatever."
And he's like, "Get out of the White House."
Yeah, and she's like, "Whatever. I got a job to do. You're just jealous or something. I don't remember."
Yeah, because she thinks, or he thought she was cheating on. Oh my god, this weird side story. He thought she was cheating on him with the president, but when he was not the president.
Yeah, they were probably just campaigning at the time. The birds always start when we start talking.
I know, for
They're
real.
like, I want to be on mic too. I have stuff to say about Independence Day. Squawk, squawk. But anyway, he gets his dad and they drive to the White House.
Yeah.
And everybody's fleeing the town, so the freeway is completely empty, but his dad is still driving like, real slow, like an old dude.
And also like Will Smith is like, "Oh shoot, I gotta go back to my base with my boys. You can come too." And she's like, "No, it's okay. I gotta strip."
Yeah.
Like, honey, the world is coming to an end. You don't need to strip.
Well, they don't know that yet.
There's aliens above your head.
What? They could be there in peace. They're just hovering over all the most famous buildings.
I
in
doubt
the world.
people are going to the club that night.
Well, when they show her at work, there's nobody there.
They're all watching the news.
Yeah, all the dancers are.
I think there were people there.
I don't think there were. I think it was kind of a plot point.
Oh, well, so he goes to their base and he tells his friend like, "Oh, I'm gonna propose," and he shows him the tackiest ring. He's like, "She likes dolphins," and there's a fucking dolphin on this ring. Joey, if you bought me an additional ring that had like,
I would get the thespian faces. The
oh my god, the
masks.
theater masks. If you would have put that on our wedding ring, I would have been like, "What the fuck?" That's part of me, but that's not all of me. Like,
You'd be like, We're not getting married.
Yeah,
now.
I'm not going to get married to you. That is the tackiest fucking ring I've ever seen. It's so ugly.
Wow.
I know. I'm so
And we
nice.
also, he gets an envelope from NASA, and he asks his friend to open it. Who is that guy?
I think it's just his friend.
No, but I mean, he's a singer.
Oh.
He was in movies a lot at the time, but I can't remember his name.
What song did he sing?
He had a lot of corny songs. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, so the guy's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna break it off," and he's like, "No, I'm gonna propose." But yeah, he shows him this really like tacky ring, and then there's this thing that happens where someone pulls out this weird gadget. Oh, the Jeff Goldblum, his character like goes to the White House. He has his dad drive him from New York to the White House.
Yeah, because he doesn't drive.
Which,
right.
like, that's far. That's real far.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Like, that would take a long time, right?
Yeah, it would.
So they drive over there because he's scared of planes. And he's like, oh, like they're gonna destroy the world. And so he like pulls out this gadget, and I was like, who the fuck are you? Are you Men in Black? Because like this. He pulled out this like weird gadget to like intercross her signal or something, and I'm like, where did you
just
get
looked
that?
up her? He just looked up her phone number because he has access to it through his computer somehow. Again, like
No, but he had this like tool he like put down on the side of his windshield, and it like did this thing.
Oh, it was probably like a satellite phone because people didn't have cell phones yet. It was probably just a satellite phone. But he also had a computer where he could just look up people's phone numbers because he also works for the phone company.
But he pulls out this gadget and he gets her on the phone. He's like, I gotta talk to you. And she like, he's like, look out the window. And he's like, I'm here. And so she's like, okay, fine, I'll hear you out.
Well, they go to the White House, and he somehow gets her to look out the window, and he's got a sign that he's holding up that's like, I don't remember what the sign, or maybe it's not a sign. Maybe he's just like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
But he comes inside there, and we find out that he punched the president. His dad's like, you punched the president?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, he wasn't the president yet. And then he draws a picture about how he's like, the aliens are using our satellites because communications go straight. Right?
Yeah.
You're making fun of me because I said communication.
No, I'm making fun of the movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I was about to
goofy
say,
as hell.
it's so simplistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
The signals can only go straight, so how will they reach the other side of the world? They send it through our satellites.
Yeah, and he draws a really simple picture because this movie is really simple. And also we're seeing people like get up on top of the buildings with signs and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how did those people get on top of those buildings? They're like on the helicopter pad up there. Like,
Yeah.
who let them up there?
Yeah, for real. They climbed on the side of the building.
Yeah, and then he convinces them that they have to leave the White House, and they do. And then, like, right after they do, the aliens start blowing everything up. And we get to see, like, about, 100 shots of miniatures of famous buildings and cities getting blown up. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool. I enjoyed the fuck out of that. Did you?
Oh, the buildings getting blown up? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I was
But it was it looked bad. I didn't think the blowing up and the explosions looked that great. Because then in my notes, I was like, everything is blowing up.
They looked a lot better than any CG things blowing up.
True, but it still looked very goofy.
Well, nothing's ever going to look perfect unless you actually blow it up.
I think the most funny part was like that the dog was like jumping out of like in front of the flame, and I was like, that made it look so bad.
Boomer the dog.
Well, yeah, but like the other explosions looked good, like the buildings exploding, all of that looked pretty cool. But when the dog was like, they were like,
they yelled
Rufus! I don't know what his name was. The dog.
Boomer. I just said his name was Boomer.
Oh, yeah. Boomer! And he like jumps, and then the flames shoot back behind him.
Wait, do you remember
He
when...
looked very heroic.
Yeah. Everybody loves a dog in a movie like that. But do you remember what I said to you when we were sitting on the couch?
No.
I said, do you think that dog knew he was jumping away from an explosion, or was he just like, oh, I'm going to go get a treat?
Yeah. He definitely thought he was getting a treat. He definitely got a treat.
Yeah. Because he had no idea what he was doing in the movie.
Also, before this happened, the president was like, "Oh, we're gonna go say, hey, we're here, we're here, we're queer. No, we're here and we're happy to have you. Welcome." They were gonna be like a welcome party, and they like flew these like helicopters with these like lights on the side, and they started flashing the lights, and I was like, dude, you're gonna get somebody killed. And then immediately after, they like lasered the helicopters out of the sky.
Yeah, it's just like the way you would swat a fly away. Like, and
Get out of my way.
What did they think was going to happen with that helicopter? They're just going to flash some lights at them, and they're going to be like, "Oh, they're communicating."
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. It was called Welcome Wagon, I think.
Yeah.
Also, another cool effect that they had was when the wind got great enough that it could pick up cars, you could see that they were real cars.
Yeah.
And you could tell that there was a crane just off screen, like just dropping real life cars on top of other real life cars.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, if you just think about it, I mean, what else were they going to use?
Yeah.
But I like that a lot too. Anytime I see stuff like that in old movies now, I'm like, I miss it so much. It would have been CG cars.
Yeah.
If that was made today.
But then we cut again to the base, and they're gonna fight the aliens. They're like, we're gonna go shoot down the alien.
Yeah, they're getting briefed.
So they go out to shoot at it, and then they shoot at it, and then they're like, there's force fields around it. Like we have to evacuate, or not evacuate, but retreat.
Yeah, retreat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And evacuate.
Sorry, I don't know the military lingo.
And Monty Python and the Holy Grail, instead of retreat, they just yell, "Run away!" That's what you made me think of. Okay, it was Harry Connick Jr., who was his buddy. And he was like kind of a sappy singer.
What did he sing?
I don't know.
Harry Connick Jr.
I don't know why I looked that up. I should have known you wouldn't know who he was. But he was in a lot of movies around that time for some reason. So also, I was playing Star Fox 64 the other day. Mm-hmm. Did you notice there was that one level that's just a complete ripoff of that scene with the pilots?
No.
No, there's like a big spaceship, and it's going to blow up a planet, and Star Fox has to fly in there and stop it. But then all these other little spaceships come out. Oh. They just ripped it off completely verbatim.
Yeah.
And Star Fox 64 came out the same year. It came out in 1996. So I thought that was pretty funny. Harry Connick Jr. dies, and then we get a pretty cool chase scene. What'd you think of that chase scene where they're like going through the canyon?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I couldn't tell if that was CG or composited. I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was fun to watch. But I literally just like put air fighting aliens, like, and then like everyone dies except Will Smith, and he like crashes his plane or something. No, he shoots out of his plane, like the parachute thing. And then whenever he falls to the ground, you can tell it's a dummy because the legs are just like straight up and down, and it like collapses on its own. I was like, "Oh shit, he broke his legs."
We talked about dummies in Demolition Man. Remember they threw that dummy in the fire, and it's really obvious. Dummies are so awkward.
Yeah, and so funny though.
Yeah,
the legs were just like dongo.
Another one of my favorite dummies in filmmaking is in The Fugitive. Harrison Ford's character is supposed to jump out of some drainage ditch waterfall thing.
Yeah.
And they show the full fall from the top, but it's just so obviously a dummy just like floating in the air, kind of twisting. Like a real human, if they did that, they'd be like kicking and
flailing around. Yeah.
It's just this lifeless dummy. Yeah. And then, do you know what that location was?
No.
It was the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah.
Oh.
It was like, I probably didn't know when I was a kid, but watching this time, I'm like, oh, that's where they have all those speed races. Like, they'll take cars and they'll just go as fast as they can for a 5-mile stretch.
Oh.
Because it's super flat and the salt makes for good traction. But it's pretty cool. And I read that people were getting sunburned on their legs, even though they were wearing pants, because the sunlight was reflecting off.
Oh my
the
gosh!
White salt. Yeah,
up into their pants.
Yeah, up
That's
into
crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But he like the other ship crashes, and then Will Smith goes into that ship, and he like the aliens like little like tentacle arms come out, and then he punches him.
Yeah,
and I was like, you ain't gonna knock him out. Did you see how big that head was?
Yeah, and then he's like, "Welcome to Earth," and then he and
no, he says that's what I call it, a close encounter.
Well, he says both.
Oh,
they give
two one-liners.
Yeah, it's really hat on a hat, but like they give Will Smith all these like because he's the cool black guy, you know.
Yeah,
he's very tokenized in that manner. Are there any other black people in this movie?
Yeah, the little boy and the girl.
I was just about to say him and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's son, right? Yeah. They felt kind of tokenized and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he also has just all the one-liners because they're like, he's cool. Like Will Smith is very charismatic. So, but even some of the one-liners he has just don't land, especially the fat lady sing thing. Like it was so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
come up with something.
I feel like they didn't set it up in the beginning very well.
No,
or at all.
Definitely didn't. And then also something that we forgot to mention was that his wife, the president's wife,
right?
They call and he would like before the aliens like attacked or anything, like they called each other. He was like, you need to get out of there. And she's like, I need to I'll wait until the end of the meeting and then I'll go. And then she waited and her plane got like hit.
Yeah, and when she got blowed up.
When that explosion happened, after the fact, something Fox and the Little Rascal, they found that little rascal. They found her partially dead body. No, her dying body.
They found her headless body, and they're like, "I think this is the first lady. She's wearing one of those American flag pins on her lapel."
Yeah, they found her, and they were like, "Oh, we got to take care of her." And so they've been taking care of her this whole time. And they're like, "We're gonna go to the base that my boyfriend works at." And then they go there, and it's like completely destroyed because the aliens were like, "Well, we're gonna destroy your base."
Yeah.
After they went and tried to like shoot down their ship.
Yeah, I love that shot of the spaceships coming in and like shooting and like all the people running away.
Like, no!
And it's just obviously they just parked a bunch of trucks on like a concrete slab somewhere. Mm-hmm. There's no base there. There's nothing there. Yeah. They're just in the middle of nowhere. Oh, but one thing we skipped over is Randy Quaid's whole thing, the crop duster.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid went to the same college as you.
Oh.
Yeah, him and his brother Dennis Quaid, who are famous actors, were U of H graduates.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Boogs, as I like to say. I don't know why.
So he is a drunken crop duster, and he claims that aliens kidnapped him and experimented on him, anally probed.
Yeah, I bet. And he's like, I'm going to get my revenge on these aliens.
Yeah. And his kids don't like him, or like they don't develop his children barely at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many characters.
There's way too many characters in this freaking movie. I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, so then that's when Randy Quaid's character lives in a RV park with a bunch of other nomadic RV people.
Yeah.
Apparently there is a community like this. Remember we were watching that parenting show and those people, they lived out of an RV and they're like, this is a whole community of people.
Yeah,
So
there is.
I was going to call bullshit on it and then I remembered that.
My brother lives in an RV.
Yeah, but that's a little bit different. Like, he's just a young guy. You know?
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't have any kids.
No.
And they run into Will Smith, who's just dragging the alien in his parachute, and they all go to Area 51, and they're like, it's not on the map. And he goes, oh, it's there. You remember that? Mm-hmm. So they find the base, but then guess who else is also at Area 51 now? They take the president and Jeff Goldblum and all of them there. This movie's exhausting.
It is so tiring. And then the Will Smith and the president are like, we're going to take down these aliens. And they're like, we're going to study their bodies. Which they go and they have like 3 bodies from the Area 51 crash.
Yeah. From 1950.
Yeah.
But it doesn't at all fit into the known history of Area 51 or anything.
Yeah.
They just wax right over it. Like, don't you even worry about like history and science or any of that. And then we also find that they have a ship in there, and they try to make it seem like this one guy who works in there is a weird scientist guy, but
he's not that weird. He's just a scientist. He's like curious about these aliens, which I would be too if I was a fucking scientist at Area 51. They find that they bring the body in. Well, actually, the RV people find Will Smith in the body of the alien. Yeah, that's
what I said a minute ago.
Yeah. And then they bring in the guy to, like, cut open that body. That's what I was trying to get at.
And did you notice that there's an alien inside the alien?
There's an alien inside the alien, yeah.
Wait, what the fuck was that?
But they said that.
What?
They said, like they have, like, a very thick skeleton like armor thingy, that they knew of that. That's what they were trying to get out.
Oh, so they were trying to get the alien out.
Yeah.
And then we find out the aliens have psychic powers.
Yeah.
And they grab the weird professor
because they were like, they don't have vocal folds or vocal cords.
Okay.
Which are vocal folds.
I must have checked out at this point because I was bored.
Yeah. But the alien takes over his mind, like not even like can communicate. Like they took over his mind,
right?
And he's the alien is like speaking through him.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Let me out."
Yeah. Also on this part, like that scientist guy asks him, "You probably want to see the big tamale." Is that a saying that people say?
I don't think so.
I know hot tamale, but I don't know.
Hot tamale is definitely a saying. Big tamale?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it is.
Also, at this part, I was thinking, like, if this movie came out today, they would be trying to make, like, a 3-movie franchise out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the first movie would have ended, like, right here, when they go to Area 51 or something. But that was just a thought I had.
Yeah, they're obsessed with doing 3 like trilogies right now.
Well, yeah, that everybody wants to
be Star Wars.
Yeah, everybody wants to be Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel movies.
Harry Potter is more than 3 parts, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
series.
Yeah, they want a franchise of movies.
Yeah.
The Fast movies.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's trying to do now. They don't just want one big hit movie. They want 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
That people will keep coming back to see. Oh my God. Fast 10. Fast 10 has made over $700 million.
I stopped watching after the second one.
The 10th movie in this terrible franchise. I hate it so much. So many people love that movie, and I can't figure out why. I do not like those movies.
Me either.
And then Also, I wrote down a little thing in here thinking about the Predator. If it can bleed, we could kill it.
The Predator was such a cool alien.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, damn, like the alien in this is not bad.
No.
This is not bad at all. But God, the alien Predator, fan-fucking-tastic. That is the scariest, coolest, the best fucking alien.
Yeah, he had cool gadgets.
Yeah.
And also that movie, they have a big cast in that movie, but they develop all the characters.
Yes.
They give them all their own personalities. All the one-liners work, and they're funny, and everybody's charismatic. Like, this movie is so melodramatic and so boring. Like,
Yeah.
the president's wife, when she dies, you're like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, for real.
You're like, just let her live. Or not.
Yeah.
Like, she could have been cut out of the entire movie, and you wouldn't have even known.
Yeah. He didn't even have to be married.
No, he didn't have to be married. We could have had our first single president or whatever. Have we ever had a single president?
I don't know, maybe. Has Nixon been had a wife? Nixon had a wife?
I don't know.
I don't know anything about presidents. But then Jeff Goldblum starts drinking.
Yep.
Because he's like, it's the end of the world. They're going to nuke them. Oh, because the thing is like, we need to do it through peace. We need to do it peacefully. I can't nuke them. And everyone's like, you should nuke them, nuke them, nuke them. And the president's like, fine, we're going to nuke them. And they do. And it's just catastrophe because they're shields.
They knew the reason they put this part in the movie, and what I would be thinking about if I was making this movie, was we have to have someone say without any shadow of a doubt that the aliens are going to try to destroy the planet Earth, so that our president, the American president, fictional American president, doesn't look bad in the movie.
Yeah.
So he can say, all right, we're going to come and we're going to fuck these aliens up, and no one could be mad about it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. After Trump, it's just changed our view of the president completely. Like, back then we would buy like a really cool stand-up president like that, but now you couldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
Trump ruined a lot of things.
He did.
Even presidential president characters in movies. So Will Smith and Vivica A. Fox are reunited because he steals a helicopter to go pick her up.
Yeah. Yeah, he steals a helicopter. Oh, God, this movie. He steals a helicopter, goes and picks her up at the base, and they find the president's wife. They bring the wives and everyone that's there back to Area 51, and they're like, oh, we're not going to she has internal bleeding. We're not going to be able to save her. We've done everything we can. And my thought is like, I know people die of internal bleeding, but
This is just more science and medical stuff that they're just gonna like. Don't think about it. Don't even pay
a
attention.
lot of people survive from internal bleeding when they catch it. Well, maybe it was too far gone.
I think that's what it was supposed to be. But also, she wouldn't be able to talk.
Yeah, but also nobody fucking cared. I didn't
bad.
care. I don't care about her. She
Yeah, I put in my notes when she dies. I put the melodrama intensifies. Because it's
also
so melodramatic.
Also, whenever he's like, whenever he goes to tell his daughter, or he doesn't even tell her. She just leans on him and she goes, "Is mommy asleep?"
Yeah.
And he's yes. Well,
Mommy's asleep and she's never gonna wake up.
he never says that. He's just like, "Mommy is asleep. Mommy's finally asleep," and it's like, nobody cares.
They must have cut some scene where he has to tell her that she's dying or something like that.
I don't know,
but it's bad.
Yeah.
And so now all of the main characters are at Area 51. We've got Randy Quaid.
All of the RVs came there with them.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got to find every single one of you that can fly a plane.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm just saying, like, all of our main characters are now in one spot, and they think it's all over.
Yeah, they're like,
then-
we're going to die.
Yeah, and this is one of those movie things. There was a really great episode of South Park where they made fun of this.
Mm-hmm.
But like Jeff Goldblum's on the floor and his dad's like, "Get up, you're gonna catch a cold." And he's like,
A cold.
"It's a cold."
A cold. And they give the ship a cold. What?
A virus.
A virus. Yeah. Well, he literally says, "We're going to give the ship a cold." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
There was a really great old South Park episode where you had like a scientist, and there was some big disaster happening, and they would run into a problem, and he'd be like, "Wait a minute, Coke cans hold fluid." Fluid is like he would do it like 10 times in a row and be like, "That's the answer."
Oh my gosh. But yeah, they're gonna give the ship a virus so that they can't use their.
But Aaron, how are they going to give a virus if they can't get to the mothership?
They're gonna use the Area 51 ship.
Oh my God! But who, and pray tell, could fly that ship?
I don't know. Maybe Will Smith,
Will Smith?
the inspiring astronaut.
Wow.
Yeah.
The aspiring. Did you say inspiring?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh God, this is the worst movie.
Vivica A. Fox and Will Smith get married.
Yes, and she's like, "I love the rain." I said, "What?"
Hey, you know that house in Meyerland that has the dolphin statue out
Yes.
front? Do you think they live there?
She loves dolphins. Maybe.
Oh,
God,
man.
that's so tacky.
Yeah, that house is so god awful. It's in a really nice neighborhood too.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go up and they like plant a virus on this thing, but Jeff Goldblum might puke, so his dad gives him puke bags.
Oh yeah. Well, also before that, like they're like, we gotta call every single military defense in the world so that we can, they can help us get take the ships down.
Yeah, anybody with any sort of flying experience. Aaron, do you know anybody in this movie who might have some flying experience that they could?
Maybe the crop duster.
The crop duster, and would this guy maybe want some sort of revenge of some type?
I think he will.
Oh, what are you looking at?
How do you make your thingy like hold on to this? Ah.
How do you make your thingy hold on to this? Is what she said.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they give everybody a crash course on how to fly a jet plane, which I don't think you can go from flying a completely analog radial engine crop duster to a F-18.
he was a military guy.
Yeah. I guess he flew in Vietnam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that translates.
Yeah. Oh, that was 20 years ago. So, he probably doesn't remember.
Right.
And the ships probably are different.
And also, he's a drunk.
And he's an alcoholic. And he's like, this is the worst day to decide to quit.
And he's from Houston, so that means he's dumb.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That means he's smart. That means he's smart.
Well, I'm from Houston.
Oh, never mind. So they like everyone's gonna fly, and they have all of these other people that are like, we're gonna like tell you when to shoot everyone down, shoot the ships down.
So what the big stakes here are that they're gonna go up there and put a virus on the mothership, but it's only gonna be open. They're only gonna have a window of a few minutes to shoot down these ships.
Yeah.
And we don't know. We don't really have like a nuke to hit them with or anything. And also, we don't know if Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum will be able to get back.
Yeah.
Right. So they go out there, and the president is flying a jet too, which I thought was kind of weird.
Well, he was like, I was ex-military.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like George
Yeah.
W. Bush was a pilot, so I mean, you could, but
Maybe they are inspired. No, but he wasn't the president then.
I think his time in the military was up by the time that movie was out.
Yeah.
He might have been governor of Texas at the time.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, his dad was president.
Yeah, his dad was president.
So maybe they were like, well, maybe George W. Bush will be president one day.
What?
Maybe they thought, maybe George W. Bush will be president one day and he'll take over. He'll protect us from aliens. Look how that turned out.
Yeah.
Lee, neck puller.
Yeah.
Collar.
Collar pull.
Okay. I wonder how this movie did in other countries.
I don't know.
I don't think it did very well.
Well, I'm back in the 90s. They weren't very concerned with international box office as much as they are now. So they go fly up into space.
Yeah.
And Will Smith is all happy because he always wanted to fly in space. They put the virus on there. And the president is down there in his jet pilot shooting at the ships down there.
Yeah. And they're trying to they've been shooting all their little missiles and everything. And they're like, this isn't good enough. Got to shoot the little beam underneath. Cause it was charging and they opened it up and they're like, we got to get in there and shoot it. And they were like, everybody's out of, what are those called? Missiles?
Missiles.
Everybody's out of missiles. We got, what are we going to do? And then the crop duster's like, I got one missile left. And he's like, I can't lock on it. Or it was stuck.
Yeah, it was stuck.
And so he's like, I've got to fly into the beam.
Yeah, and he's like, tell my children I love them. And his son happened to be in the the war room when he says that. And
who let that kid in?
That's exactly what I was thinking. But also the kid's just like, oh, cool.
That's
he must
cool.
have really hated his dad.
Yeah.
Because he does not seem to care at all that his dad is sacrificing himself.
Yeah. So he flies into the little beamy spot and it makes the ship fall and die.
Yeah. And he goes, I'm back.
Yeah. Which was
it reminded
not clever.
me of Raquel from the thing. Get a load of me.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so after the virus is put up in the mothership, they're trying to leave, but when they went to go put the mothership thing in, there was this hand that came down and held onto their ship.
Right.
And so they were stuck. And then the little alien guy that was sitting in front of him, that was I guess the captain of the big mothership.
Yeah. Head alien guy.
Yeah. Legs crossed on their little computer, tip-tap typing away. He's like, I'm going to open their windshield and look at them.
Let me see those beautiful little mugs you guys got. You're so cute little aliens.
But they opened it up and they're like, oh, it's just us humans. And they're like, well, we're gonna actually bomb you. I don't know how they had a missile or something?
Yeah, they had a nuke on there and they shot it through the ship and they leave the ship in time. But they flash back to the nuke, and it's right next to that alien. It has a digital timer built into the nuke.
Yeah.
What was that
and
for?
You see the alien just look at it and be like, "Oh shit."
I wish that alien, the only time an alien spoke in the movie was right then. He had
it should have just been subtitles. Oh shit.
It should have been some weird clicking noise, and then it says in subtitles, "I fucked up."
Oh shit, man!
Damn.
Oh hell no!
My wife's gonna be pissed.
So my children, I love them. Oh my gosh! But they fly out. They just barely make it.
Of course, they have to.
And then they make it back to Earth, and they're smoking a cigar.
Yeah, they're smoking cigars, and then Jeff Goldblum and his wife are no longer separated. And, and it's just, your typical ending to a big budget movie. So, Aaron, let me hear what your no bullshit assessment is.
I would say, if you like good movies, don't watch this one. It was It was real goofy as hell. And it was real cringy. But also, if you want to like talk about it with someone and make fun of it the whole time,
Yes.
you would have a blast. This would be a great drinking movie.
Oh, yeah.
Every
like
time you hear a
drinking game.
one-liner, throw one back.
Yeah. This movie, after we were done watching it, I was like, I have an analogy for this, and it's like you're really hungry and you go to Golden Corral and you're like, you get in there and you see all the food and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to eat. And you sit down and you grab like 3 plates of food and you start eating it and you're like, this doesn't have any seasoning on it. It's so bland. And it's like this huge feast that nobody bothered to season.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what this movie is. It's so melodramatic.
Yeah.
You don't really care about any of these characters. Will Smith is kind of cool, but you don't care if he gets married. You don't care if Jeff Goldblum gets back with his wife. Judd Hirsch in the last few minutes of the movie is like, I found God again. His dad, Jeff Goldblum's dad. His name's Judd Hirsch.
I didn't know he didn't have God.
Yeah, like I said, the character arcs suck. Like Jeff Goldblum's character arc was that he didn't throw up. Yeah. I mean, that's really all you can say about this movie. It's like, it's a big set piece. And kids, I can see why kids would love it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a total snooze fest. And they should have never made a sequel to it.
God, they made a sequel.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for our movie.
Yeah.
For our game, we're going to play...
Well, hold on. I got a little segment real quick.
Oh, okay.
So I looked up Letterbox reviews, so that means it's time to get in the ring with Letterbox. All right. So, first review is Boomer absolutely nailing that jump while the world is exploding behind him. That dog is the best action hero of the 90s.
Aww.
That was Brian, and he gave the movie 4.5 stars and a heart.
Wow.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what the heart's for. Kat gave it 3 stars and a heart and says, is it really America Day if you don't watch Will Smith kick alien ass? America Day. I like that.
America.
And then this guy, Cobra Rocky, which are 2 Sylvester Stallone references, he gave it 2 stars and he said, shit, good thing aliens still use Windows 95 or Earth would have been fucked.
That's good.
And then the last one, this is from Jizz Monkey.
Oh my God.
He gives it 1 star and he says, my only problem with this film was watching it.
Oh.
So,
well, it's accurate.
Yeah, accurate view there, Jizz Monkey. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
You did your part.
Can you
Monkey.
imagine getting on a social media and be like, what's my name gonna be?
Jizz Monkey.
Jizz Monkey.
Perfect.
All right, so you have a little game, right?
Yeah, so we actually have a little game. And the game premise is I don't have a name for the game, but I'm going to say quotes from either real life presidents or movie presidents.
And I have to
And
guess.
you have to guess whether it was a real president or a movie president.
And I get a bonus point if I can name the actor or the president.
Yes.
Or the movie.
You get extra double points if you can name the movie, if it's a movie one.
Okay. This sounds
Okay.
good.
Our first one is the finest steel has to go through the hottest fire.
Oh my God. The finest steel has to go through the hottest fire. I'm going to say that's a real president.
Uh-huh.
And I have no clue who said it.
It was Richard Nixon.
Oh, okay. Richard Nixon.
Okay.
Oh, the only thing I really know that he says is, I'm not a crook.
Okay. Peace isn't merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice.
Peace is not... I'm going to say it's a movie.
Okay.
And that is from Superman.
No.
What is it?
It is Harrison Ford as President James Marshall. In
Harrison
the
Ford.
movie, I don't know what it is.
Air Force One.
Air Force One.
That's the only movie he played the president in. So
Yeah. Okay.
talking to the microphone.
I'm trying to talk in the microphone. Okay. Life will go on. We will prevail.
I'm going to say that is a real president, and it was George W. Bush talking about 9/11.
No. It was Morgan Freeman as President Beck in Deep Impact.
Oh, Deep Impact. That was another movie from the same era. It was mid 90s. I remember that stupid ass movie. Okay. Another one?
Yeah.
Try not to laugh. I hope this is the president from Idiocracy.
Okay.
Something's really got her tickled, and I don't know what it is.
If I were a single man, I might ask that mummy out. That's a good-looking mummy.
Oh my god. I'm going to say that's a real president, and it was it was Donald Trump.
Bill Clinton. Okay.
What was that from? Do you know? You don't,
It
you don't have to
was
look.
on Juanita, a newly discovered Incan mummy on display at the National Geographic Museum. That's a good-looking mummy.
Oh my god, he was our horniest president.
He was.
Oh my god.
Too many good docs are getting out of the business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
I know exactly who this is. That's George W. Bush.
Yes, it was.
To practice their love. You know, Bill Cosby, on one of the Cosby shows, he was a gynecologist. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
On the sitcom, he played Cliff Huxtable, who is a gynecologist, and he saw women in the basement of his house. Isn't that creepy, knowing now what he was that whole time?
Mm-mm. Well, hold on.
Bill Cosby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there are certain things you should expect from your president. I had to care more about you than I do about myself.
I'm going to say it's a movie president.
It is.
What's it from?
Dave.
Oh.
Kevin Kline.
Yeah, I saw that movie. My family went to see that movie. None of us liked it.
There may be somebody with tomatoes in the audience. If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously, okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you. I will pay for their legal fees.
That's definitely Donald Trump.
Yes, it was.
He's the only president who's incited violence like that.
Okay. Rest assured that we all... Well, hold on, sorry. Okay.
You know, you can unplug it.
I'm about to die.
Aaron, I thought you wrote these down beforehand.
I did. I took a screenshot. Okay. Rest assured that we will soon come out at a very real outcome. It's a lame line.
I don't know. I'm going to say a real president.
No, it was Jack Nicholson as President James Dale in Artland.
Artland. Are you sure that's not from Mars Attacks? That's the only time I think he's ever played the president.
Oh, Mars Attacks.
Okay. That was a comedy. He played a really goofy character in that. So.
Yeah. Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
I'm going to say that's George W. Bush.
It was George W. Bush. And that has been president or actor. I don't know.
Well, that's going to do it for us. We're almost exactly at an hour and 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
Good timing. Is there anything else you want to say about Independence Day, the holiday, or the movie?
No.
No?
We don't really celebrate Independence Day.
Yeah,
Really,
well, we're not big 4th of July people.
Yeah.
We
Like-
did. We started dating on 4th of July. That's like,
we did.
That's
That
our
was
original
our first,
anniversary.
we went out and we saw fireworks.
We tried.
I was a vegetarian and I made you hamburgers.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, it's our dating anniversary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Also, weirdly enough, my second
it's
deployment.
9 years of us being together.
Yeah. Another thing that happened on 4th of July, it's kind of an interesting coincidence. I came back from my second deployment. The day I got home was on 4th of July. Yeah. But I was way too exhausted to do anything.
Yeah.
I just went home and went to sleep.
Yeah. But we don't really do much for 4th of July or anything like that.
Yeah, we just use it as an excuse to like see friends.
Yeah.
Or have a get together or something. But
Yeah. But we don't really do anything special.
no, we're not putting out the American flag.
Hell no.
But anyway, have a safe and happy 4th of July. Don't fire off fireworks if it's illegal in your
City.
municipality.
Or municipal, yeah. Because god damn, it's so annoying. Please stop.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at
You haven't seen it?
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.